Welcome back to my new video. This video, I'm going to teach you how you can implement function calling using the Open AI. This is a new tool or functionality that OpenAI decided to add to the models. Okay, and already this functionality is being done by LangChain, but we want to look at the approach that OpenAI is also using. So as you can see on the screen, function calling. In API call, you can describe functions to this model. So these are the new models they are applying the function calling on. That is the GPT 3.5 Turbo 0613 and GPT-4 0613. And this model, they intelligently chooses to output a JSON object containing arguments to call those functions. So this is not very complicated. So there are cases where you want to ask the model, what is the current weather in Dallas? Okay, so you see it's a sentence, okay, but you cannot feed such a sentence into let's say open weather map API directly. You need to specify the city or the location of that to the API. Okay, so you need to specify the location, which is Dallas. That is what the API understand. But the moment you pass in, let's say, a sentence, the API is not able to understand. So the model, once you put such a sentence, the model will intelligently extract the location from that piece of sentence, and then it will output it as a JSON so that you can pass that JSON to your internal API or your endpoint that will give you that results. Okay, so the model rather generates the JSON that you can use to call the function in your code. Okay, so that is the whole idea of this function calling. Because if you ask ChatGPT to give you the real-time weather information, it's not going to give you that information. Okay, so that is the idea behind it. And they stated on their documentation some few applications. The first one is to create chatbots that answer questions by calling external APIs like the ChatGPT plugins, and you can use it to email. So you can ask questions like email GoDataProf to check what days he posts new videos on YouTube. So you give a function body, you describe the function like this and pass in some arguments to it. And then this is going to extract the information and put it into a JSON format that your email endpoint can understand. Okay. So there's another example. What is the current weather like in Dallas? So you define a template, get current weather, which you need to pass the location and then the units, whether Celsius or Fahrenheit. The second application is to convert natural language into API calls. So you can say, who are my top customers? Okay. So this can be translated into, let's say, SQL query that will say, let's say, select star from so and so customer database where blah 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 blah, that will generate the top customers based on a time frame and some limit. Okay, so you can say get customers by revenue, the start date, the end date, and then the limit. Okay, let's say the top 5 will give you the top customers by certain date range. Okay, so that is the whole idea. And then you can now pass that to your internal APIs. Okay. Or that can be queried against your database. Let's put it that way. So you can, the third option is to extract structured data from text. Okay, so let's say you have a Wikipedia article that you want to extract certain information from it of some, let's say some celebrities, you want to extract their name, their date of birth, and other information about them. You can do that, and then you'll be able to extract that structured data or that tabular form data from unstructured text. Okay, let's put it that way. Okay, so I'm going to give you some few examples, and then you see what we are talking about. I have few imports here. Going to run that. Let's see. Let me select the kernel. Okay, so this is how you set the API key. Going to run that. So we are going to use the chat completion API, and then we want to pass in the GPT-4 model. And then our role is for the user, and then the content we are passing. What's the current weather in Dallas? This is the Dallas, Texas. Okay. So once we run this, let's wait for the output. You see, it says, so I cannot provide real-time information. Please check a reliable weather website or app for current weather in Dallas. So this is what we are talking about. It knew it has to check Dallas, but it doesn't have that information. Let's also check send email to GoDataProf using this email address. If we run this, you say, I'm sorry, but as an AI language model, I cannot access email services or send emails on your behalf. Okay, so these are things that you want to ask ChatGPT that the model cannot answer. Okay, so we want to provide function calling to the model so that it knows how to extract this information, draft email from this piece of content, and then pass that to our internal endpoint. Okay, so I'm going to leave the video right here. So we can also look at the documentation. If you come to platform.openai.com, you can see that they have some few examples here, not too big. You can see they have function calling, which they just released some few days ago. So you can see it here. I've already explained everything already. So if you want to check it out, you can just go to this URL and check the documentation. But in my next video, I'm going to give you 2 real-world applications of how to use this function calling endpoint or function calling services, I'll put it. So don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to this video. I'll see you in the next one.